Alright, so this is gonna be the tutorial to do the creative typography words. So this practice, what I want to call is like a practice assignment. It's gonna allow you to, understand some of the basic functions of the Adobe Illustrator, and and basically how we're gonna go about with manipulating words and yeah, basically manipulating the words in creative ways. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to File, New, just create a new document. So I'm just gonna do it the long ways here. Just click OK. You can just leave all the options alone, just like how we did in your pre-test before. And we're just gonna start off with just typing out the word that we want. So for your warm-up today, you want to choose three verbs or irregular verbs, and they should be like words that kind of like describe like something that's happening or an action. So for example, one action I could do is uh, break. So the word break means to take apart something, spread things apart. But yeah, we're going to use this word. So you'll probably start off with like a very small text, but if you click on the Windows and you go to your type, and you just click on characters. I already have it open here, but it's going to be your characters window. This is where you're going to be able to manipulate your type. So you're going to use the selection tool, select your word, and if you want to make things easy, you can change it to paragraph, put in the center, and then you can make the word as big as you want. So it's set at 72 at the highest, but you can make that even bigger. You can even type in the number to change the size as well if you want to move a little bit quicker. So I mean, that's a pretty good size. You can always change the size of the words later too. So you just want to have like a decent size. You can leave it in the middle. So break, and then also if you want to change your fonts, you can click on this tab, and you'll have a lot of different fonts to choose from. So you just want to look through the fonts. See something that's interesting to you that might make interesting design when you're playing around with it. So I'll mess around with this Britannic bold. You can also change this, or some of the types you can. You can change it regular, italic, bold, bold, italic. So you gotta just have to play around with it. Just be mindful though, if you go all the way to the bottom, there are some types that aren't types, and then others it's like another language. So just make sure to click on the one that's like the American language, because we don't have like the keyboard to, or we don't have the commands on the keyboard to type in another language. All right, so once you found the type that you want to use on this tab here, you resized it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a command where basically it's going to allow us to move each individual letter and resize it, rotate, and do all that interesting stuff. So what we're going to do is you're going to select the word again, and then once it's selected, it should be like a blue box around it. Go to Object, and you're going to click on Expand. So Object and Fill should be checked. You just click OK. So basically what happened now is each of the letters is an individual shape now that you can choose, but you can't really choose it now because you have to ungroup it. Command Z, as in 0, that's going to undo your command, so if there's anything you don't want to happen, you can undo it. But at this point now, since it's under the type tool, I can always change my words here if I want to change it to something else. But after I've done the object and expand option, I can't really go back and change that type anymore. So just be mindful of that when you do the expand. So alright, so when we expand it, now it's each individual shape. But the next thing you want to do too is you want to go to Object again, and you want to ungroup these words. So now I can actually move these individual letters and manipulate them as well. So I can make it bigger, make it smaller, I can stretch it, make it backwards, I can rotate it too. So there's a lot of different options you can do, and then Command Z is going to just undo all those things. So Command C, that's gonna be your go-to key if you want to, go back to things you've done before. I think in this program you can undo up to 20 times. So you have a lot of different options to do the undo. But just be mindful that after a certain point that you can't undo it. But I mean, 20 is a lot of commands you can go back to. All right, so I'm thinking about the letter break, and I kind of want to play around with the idea of just breaking apart the letters. You could do something like this for the idea. If you want, you can play around with the sizes a little. Just kind of play around with, just rotating. So if you want to rotate, you just highlight the edge. The cursor is going to change to this curve line. And then to resize, you just click and drag to make it bigger. So you can stretch and skew it. And now ideally, you don't really want to stretch and skew because it makes the words look a little bit funny. So in order to resize it in the proper ratio, so if you want to keep it the same size, you would hold the Shift key, and then you can make it bigger. So you can do something like this for like like a design. I just want you guys to get comfortable with kind of just moving and manipulating the words. And then you can also play around with the color C. So you can click on the individual shape. If you go to Windows, Swatches, you'll have your basic color swatch here, to use. So you can just click on the letter, click on the color, and that'll change the colors. Another way too you can do is if you click on the letter, you double click on the colors, you can get like more value. So if you want like a darker blue, you can change it to a darker blue or make it into like a lighter blue. So you got a lot of different options to choose from when you're playing around with it. And then also there's a gradient tool here. So you click on this gradient tool. It's going to basically be like a gradual change from one value to another. So if you go to your gradient bar, it's going to look like this. Or you go to Windows, gradient to check it. But if you want to change the colors of the gradients, you would double click on the tab. You can change your colors. Oops, I got to highlight this again. So make sure you highlight it if you want to change the colors. So you can do like a blue to a yellow. Or if you want, you can add more tabs in between. You can do like a red in between. You probably don't want to go too crazy with it because it's gonna look kind of messy. This kind of works better with bigger shapes though. All right, and then anything else? Yeah, I think that's about it. So I just want you to just get used to using the selection tool. The type tool, if you want, you can add like more words to it. So, maybe I can add another word. Big. Oh, for some reason it's not typing. So let me delete that. You can, type in new words, and just remember you're gonna type it in, hit Object, Expand, click OK, Object and Ungroup, and then you can use these letters. To make a design. Alright, so you want to basically make, three verbs, and just think of like creative ways you can make the verbs. Kind of like the example I did with break earlier. Alright.